Hey friends, Stevie Taylor here. Hope you're well. Good to see you again. Welcome to episode 40 of the Gig Life podcast. This episode is brought to you by Cuzzy T Urban Apparel. Tall tees, long sleeves, polo shirts, hoodies and caps. Locally owned, affordable, premium quality, fresh designs. Check out the Slick As online store at www.cuzzyt.com. That's C-U-Z-Y for Cuzzy. And a brand new shop is now opened up out at Parkley Markets every Saturday and Sunday. So go check out Cuzzy T, where you belong. My guest today is Joel Shadbolt, singer, guitarist and songwriter for New Zealand powerhouse L.A.B. I had my friend Josh Gage sit in with me on this one, as he's a massive L.A.B. fan. If you don't know Josh, he's one of the funniest people I know. Go check out his Facebook. It's Josh Gage again. Hilarious. He's got some crack-up videos. Yeah, since Josh is a big fan of L.A.B, I thought it would be really cool that he sort of sit in with me on this. We covered heaps talking to Joel. We talked about his career at length. We talked about L.A.B, the recording process of their albums, cooking, teaching, and just whatever else we came up with. Joel was very generous with his time talking to us. You don't want to miss this one, so you really, if you can, share it around so everybody else can hear about this fantastic musician and really cool human, and also the wicked band L.A.B. So without further ado, sit back and check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, Joel Shadbolt. Cheers. Well, I think we're rolling. Now, usually I do these things myself, but considering the guest we have today, I thought I'd get in a co-pilot. And I've got Josh Gage with me here today.
It's me.
That's you, yeah, bro. Now, I got you in because you've got quite a we're speaking with Joel Shadbolt from L.A.B, and the end of last year, L.A.B brought out an album called L.A.B 2, and Josh, you had quite a an
experience with the
with the review. So I'm just going to play that review, and then we'll start talking to Joel. Hang on a sec.
It's Josh Gage again, and I'm really excited today. The new album from L.A.B has just come out, L.A.B 2. Very original name, L.A.B. I think it means lahors and bum bums. No, it doesn't. It means lollies and biscuits. No, it doesn't. It means laughing at Brad. No, I think it means Lawton and Brad. Yeah, very original name. Anyway, the music is amazing, man. The first album blew me away, but this second album, it's like, it gave me the feeling of when you're hungover, next day you need that ice cold water to just wake you up a bit, give you that refreshing feeling. That's what this album does for me. Man, I'm so happy. The lead singer, Joel Shadbolt, dude's got some soul. He's got some soul in him. What I'm really excited about him is he's like the handsomer version of Ed Sheeran, like a better looking version. Not very hard to do, but he does it very well. This dude's got so much soul, and he's like a white guy as well. You listen to him and think he was like a black dude from like the Southern America area. But this dude, man, is off the chain, and you can hear that the quarter boys in there that they've got that just their own sort of a funk going on there, got their own swag, and I'm loving it, man. A couple of things I want to do in 2019. Okay, one thing I want to do is there's a 2-kilo steak challenge down at my pub. If you do that, you get to eat for free. I want to do that. Number 2, I want to do a somersault into a manu, into the water. Number 3, what I want to do is I want to learn Spanish, so that when I go down to the taco shop, I know what the guy who's speaking in Spanish, when he laughs at me, I know what he's laughing at. And number 4, what I want to do is watch L.A.B live 2019. That's one of my goals next year, because they are so good, man. I'm so happy to have found this album. I've listened to it so many times. My family's getting sick of it now because I listen to it all the time in the car while I'm doing the dishes. Now check out this song. This is Fashion Dread.
All right, Josh, you're an idiot. That was funny.
It was from the heart. It was deep. It was from the heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joel Shadbolt. What's up, brother?
Woo!
How are you, bro?
Wow. That's an intro and a half, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. Even my nana saw that video and she was cackling. She had the old cackle on, eh? She's like, oh, hey, she's like, oh, he's a funny fella.
Oh, thanks, Nan.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. I won't show you his other videos.
Yeah. Crack up. Now, bro, you guys have just finished up a massive summer. And yeah, like I said in the intro, you released your second album towards the end of last year, and then sort of toured right through summer, didn't you? And so and now you fellas are straight back in the studio shooting for number 3.
Yeah. Straight back in the studio, number 3 on the go.
Yep.
And it's it's been, we did our first week last week. Managed to get, we kind of went down with a blank canvas and we've managed to get like 3 or 4 new tunes kind of on the boil, which is cool. 2 kind of semi-finished ones, and one we're going to do, we're actually going to collaborate with the symphony orchestra on this album. So very excited
wow.
the prospect of that.
That's cool.
So yeah, cool stuff going on.
So that the symphony orchestra thing, that's just come up in the last week while you've sort of made the song.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, very fresh news. Probably not public, but now it is. There you go. But yeah, we want to make it happen. You know, it's something that like Brad heard on this tune, and he's like, "I want to do it," and we're going to do it. So
good stuff.
We're going to do it.
Yeah, that's mean, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, bro. Well, let's roll back to the early days. Now, you're from Tauranga, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. So was there music in your family? Your mum, dad, grandparent? Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, my old man was a guitarist and a country singer. He was cat-handed, so I kind of learned how to play guitar from watching him play as a kid. And my mum was into, wasn't a musician, but she was into like lots of blues and like John Lee Hooker and Albert King, B.B. King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, all that kind of stuff. So the kind of CD collection at home was pretty rich.
Yeah. And
even some Pavarotti in there.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
And, so lots of different influences from a young age, you know, like listening to lots of Doobie Brothers and all that kind of stuff. And but yeah, the old man was the one that started me on the guitar, and then kind of eventually singing in the car with him, you know, as a kid, and didn't take my singing too seriously till I was in my teenage kind of stage.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry, when did you pick up the first guitar?
I was 3. My old man got me a ukulele dump.
Oh man.
And he put some fishing line on it, and that was kind of the start of learning how to play guitar.
Yeah. Yeah. So, when you got into school, let me rephrase it. When was your first band? Primary school?
First band?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Primary school rock band.
Awesome.
And we were like doing, like Doobie Brothers and like Leonard Skinner and stuff like that, you know, playing kind of, we played at the school disco. I remember that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun, man. That was kind of the first ever experience of playing in a band situation, and then that kind of through intermediate and high school, I kind of did more, like I did quite a bit of busking as a kid.
Yep.
That's when I kind of was forced to do more singing because no one wants to hear the guitar for that long.
Right. So are you still in Tauranga at that stage? Or
yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
So with the busking,
were
you having to apply for any sort of busking permits and stuff? And because I know, like here in Sydney, it's it's a massive thing, man. If you want to busk, you've got to
Yeah.
all this paperwork
Yeah.
and permits and.
No, I never had to do that. I only busked in Tauranga, and we just, like, I did every Labour weekend in October, they'd have a busking competition, and I'd go down and have a go at that. And my dad used to get pissed off because I'd make more money than he made in a week one day.
Yeah.
But that's awesome fun busking, you know. You kind of come up with your set and forced to play the same songs over and over again, but it's really cool fun. It was something I kind of valued, you know, once I grew up.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, cause would have been a little bit scary too. Were you doing it by yourself?
Yeah. Just solo. My old man would jump on a few tracks, play some crowded house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Bit of U2. But no, he was mainly like, no, have a go, you know, kind of pushing me, not too hard, but definitely giving me the, come on, you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And what were you sort of thinking at this stage, or like, I mean, you know, that young, is this something I want to be doing all the time? Were you playing all the time? Were you practicing all the time?
Yeah, I think it was like I was into my soccer a little bit, but I got to a point where my coach was getting tired of me turning up tired
Right.
because on a Friday I was playing in bands when I was about 11, 12, playing in pubs and stuff like that. And my old man would like drop me in town, play till like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, pick me up, and then take me to soccer the next morning. And yeah, so I had to kind of make a decision quite early on, like, you know, what am I going to, not that I was ever going to be a football star, but, you know, it was like either sport or music, because the music was slowly taking over, you know. Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah. And what was your early education? Were you, apart from your dad, you learning stuff from your dad, did you have a sort of solid teacher back then?
Yeah, I had a few teachers. I had a classical teacher for a while, who taught me kind of the whole finger picking style and that. And then I kind of got into learning how to play lead when I was about 12, kind of learning scales and stuff like that. But before that, it was all just songbook stuff, you know, like just standard kind of 4 chords, kind of learning bar chords and stuff like that. So, and just learning how to play and sing, and then kind of playing lead, and that kind of came a little bit later. And you see kids these days, man, they're picking up lead at like 6 years old, shredding Metallica, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
can tell you, I was not there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, they've sort of got access to, you know, YouTube and that sort of stuff now. It's a little.
Yeah, when I was there was DVDs. It was and they were like rife, man. You go to the sound store at Bayfair in the mountain, down here in Tapamara, and just like wall of DVDs of like every concert that's ever happened.
Yeah,
you know,
wow.
and that was a huge part.
Yeah.
Of learning for me, you know, like sitting there and watching these DVDs just religiously.
Yeah, for me it was similar, but it was the VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Used to go down, and there was one video shop in Masterton, and on Friday night I used to get on my scooter and cruise down there, and just go through the concert. I remember seeing Brian Ferry, Roxy Music, and Phil Collins, and all that stuff. Man, I'll never forget those VHSs, man. Just
Eric Clapton Unplugged is kind of a big one.
Yep.
Some of the Pink Floyd ones, like Pulse, Floyd Pulse, which is that one. Yeah, it was DVDs was kind of my YouTube, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yep, totally. Now, sort of onto high school. Was your influences in music changing, or were you still sort of How was your influences changing?
I think in high school it definitely got, you know, more exposed to like bands like, you know, Iron Maiden, and started to kind of expand. I still came from quite a heavy blues background because of pretty much what was in the CD collection at home. It was just kind of second nature to to be listening to that kind of music and playing that kind of regurgitating it. So as soon as I started learning how to play lead, it was my references are always blues references, but
Right, gotcha.
kind of 13, 14, I was kind of getting into more kind of heavier rock stuff and never got deep into metal, but like probably the deepest I got was probably Pantera. I got right into Dimebag there and purely because of his approach is very bluesy and quite, you can feel, where he's coming from when he plays. My mate Tarquin, who lives in Melbourne now, he's the culprit for that. He bought me there's a again DVD. It was like a Dimebag. It was a Pantera documentary, and it was just pretty much videos of them on the piss and doing crazy
stuff. I think
I've
seen that one. That was the Cowboys from Hell. It starts with the Cowboys from Hell. Yeah, I've seen it, yeah. I might still have it actually on VHS. Yeah. It's awesome, man.
Rolling around with bottles of Jim Beam and oh my God. So yeah, I got into that, and then when I was in when I left high school at year 11, so I was 15 when I left school, because I had the opportunity to go to Polytech and do a music course, which was, I was technically not legally allowed to leave school then, but the principal, we had a meeting with my parents and stuff like that, and they said, well, if he's not going to do anything but music, it makes sense, So yeah, when I did that Polytech course, and that's where I kind of got into a bit more jazz and stuff, and I applied to go to a music school in the States for a summer program.
Yeah, I read about that, and you guys did some fundraising and to get you over there. Yeah, that's awesome.
That was a huge turning point, man. That was like, because I started to get into jazz and listening to jazz, and that was where I kind of like, it was trying to understand music on a theoretical level, which I hadn't ever done, until about then.
Right.
16, 17 years old, and then when I came back from that 2-week program, I was just full of like, oh my God, I can't wait to pursue a career in music and learn about the guitar on that level. Seeing guys that were working with like Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder on the regular. These are the teachers that were over there.
Yep.
And that was incredible to be around such caliber of musicians.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's awesome.
But that was a pretty big turning point in the sense of like influences and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool. So when you came back, when you say you had your mind set on this is what I want to be doing, what was the next thing you did to sort of pursue that career?
So I had the opportunity to, after the Polytech course, I was 18 and had the opportunity to either go to university in Auckland or try and apply for a scholarship and go over to that music academy, and that was just too much money, bro.
Right.
So, the fees was through the roof, and like even if you got a scholarship, it was not fully subsidised. So it was just for a little Kiwi boy, it wasn't quite the one. So
was that disheartening or?
No, it was the right decision to do what I did, which was go to Auckland, and I studied music up there, majored in guitar, and learnt off some awesome teachers up there, which was a lot cheaper.
Yeah, right.
And I think I still came out with what I wanted to get, wanted to learn. I mean, it was not to become a jazz musician. That was never the intent. It was to kind of learn theory and understand harmony and just understand the guitar on a level that wasn't just pentatonic scales and bar chords,
Got you. Yep.
Yep.
And what bands were you playing at that stage?
So when I was like 15, I was doing like covers when I was in high school, playing in just pub bands around here, and then I started my own 3-piece band when I was 15, and we were together till I was about 22, 23, on and off doing pubs and weddings and all that kind of stuff. And that was just playing top 40 stuff and heaps of classic rock and blues and stuff that sometimes we wanted to play more than the crowd wanted to hear.
It's usually the way, man, with covers, hey?
Yeah. You got to balance it out so you can still have a soul. No, it's not that bad, but if you're working that much in the covers scene, it can be pretty disheartening. But we were doing when we were peaking, we were doing 3 or 4 gigs a week. When I was studying in Auckland, I was travelling back to Tauranga and going down to Taupo, Rotorua on the weekends and just playing covers.
Right.
Which I'm like, when I look back at it, I'm real thankful for, because I don't think just doing one style of music is a healthy thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool to study jazz and cool to learn that stuff, but I was never a jazz musician to start with, and I've taken what I kind of wanted out of that stuff, so it was a good balance, go and play Iron Maiden in the weekends and then play Miles Davis on the Monday.
Yeah, man, that's
good buzz.
Yeah, I had a question then, but I forgot. Josh, you got?
I'm happy just listening.
Yeah.
I'm happy just listening.
Oh,
you're
sorry.
very quiet.
Sorry, what's that?
I said you're very quiet, Josh.
Yeah, Josh is quiet.
I'm happy just listening. I'm in the moment, so I'm cool.
Yeah. So when you're coming back from Auckland, back down to this cover band, were you lead singing at the time as well as playing? Yeah. Yeah. So you've sung all the way through, haven't you?
Yeah. That was the first time though, to really take the bull by the horns. When I was 15, it was the first time I'd ever led a band. In the sense of doing covers, and I'd never sung lead. I'd sung, but I'd never, taken it into my own hands, kind of thing. So from pretty much 15 upwards, it was learning how to sing, and
right. And
playing.
Is the singing self-taught, or you've had singing teachers?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
I've never had a singing. I've had a few singing lessons, but I've never had a singing teacher. No.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Wow.
Gotcha.
It's something I want to do. It's something I want to invest in more, is singing, because it's such an interesting, being a singer is something I never imagined would manifest into what it manifested into.
Gotcha.
With L.A.B and stuff.
Yep.
I sung for the necessity of playing the guitar, and busking as a kid, it was no one wants to listen to the guitar the whole time, so they'll learn how to sing. It's kind of like a offshoot of that, but the tables have definitely turned in that, so it's been quite a learning curve to understand or change how I think of myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you've got such a distinguishable voice, very, to my ears, very original. Straight away, as soon as I hear you start singing, that it's you, So yeah, man, it's exciting to hear what you're going to do with that, It's really cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no, sweet as. Now, Mooga Fooga, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Yep, tell us a little bit about that band.
Yeah, so that was a band that. So it's a good timeline. We're on the right timeline. So I just finished uni. I was 21. Came back to Tauranga for that summer, the summer of 2012, and going into 2013 or 2011. I can't remember. Somewhere around there.
Yep.
And met up with Rory, the bass player, who I've known for years, and Nick, who I'd kind of met a few times, and we just started jamming. And they got their visas to go to the UK the following summer, so the summer of, it was 2011, end of 2000. So they went to the UK in 2012, and we were like, hey, me and my mate Kush, the sax player, we're studying together in Auckland. Oh, and hang on, I've got to rewind a bit. Man, this is a big story. Are you ready?
You're right, bro. All good.
Oh, man.
It's only 7:30 here, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got on. I just got to teach some kids how to play guitar tomorrow.
Yeah, all good.
so that when I was doing the covers and stuff, playing in Tauranga and that, I met a close friend who I now regard as a close friend. He was working in this bar, and he's like, we were playing his covers, and we became friends. And he's from Cornwall in the UK, and he ended up moving back to the UK. But we became good friends and hung out heaps in New Zealand. And he was like, man, when I move home, I'm going to open my own bar, and you're going to come play in it. And I was like, yeah, man, this is like hypothetically speaking, most of the time a little bit drunk, those kind of yarns. And anyway, it all ended up happening. He moved back to the UK, bought a bar. We finished uni, and he said, hey, come to the UK. And I said, oh, it's just me and my mate Kush, the sax player, and we'll come and play the background jazz and get our 2-year, working holiday visa. And he's like, and then my mate Rory's like, oh, we're going to the UK as well. And he says, oh, you might as well come to Cornwall as well. So the whole band ended up moving to the UK together, living down in Cornwall in this fucking shack, like above the restaurant, and we'd play 4 nights a week down in this little, I think it was called Zoot. And yeah, it was awesome, man. Like, just one of those life experiences I was saying. It's just like hanging out with your mates, playing music, earning fuck all money, just having fun.
Just having fun, yeah. Yeah, making memories,
yeah.
eh?
Yeah,
yeah,
man, it was really a cool time. So that's how Mooga Fooga started. And like, then we came, I had to come home because of family stuff, and the boys ended up staying in the UK. But they came home, and we did some recording and a bit of writing and stuff like that. And it never kind of eventuated into anything. There's a few not tours, but like, go down to Wellington, play a few shows, and played Nelson Jazz Festival and Tauranga Jazz Fest, I think. But we're all still close mates. And
yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So that's finished now, is it? You can't sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Batucada sound project. Tell us a little bit about that. Yep. You were part of that.
Yeah. So that was when I'd come home. So I'd only done 6 months of my 2-year visa. I come home because my old man was crook, and was hanging out with him and my mum, and got that phone call, which was real exciting. And that was to replace a guy called Richie, who was in the band, who was living in Germany. And so they were pretty much replacing him. And it was a pretty short stint. It was only like 6 months that I was in that band, but amazing exposure and like to a style that I'd never played as well. Mixing funk with Brazilian music, and 3 drummers in the band. It was just full on.
Well, at one time.
3, so a drummer.
Some snarky puppy shit there, man.
yeah. It was all kind of Brazilian rhythms and I can't even remember the names of the drums. I feel embarrassed. What are they called? Proper Brazilian kind of stuff, and learning how to play the different samba beats and stuff. And the parts in the set would just break out into a rhythm thing. So I'd be like on the cowbell, and there'd be no harmonic instruments apart from like a whistle. And
cool.
James, who it was cool buzz that band.
Why did that end?
It was kind of a natural ending. Like the band was, I guess it was trying to find that person that was going to replace like the guy that was essentially the main writer, the guy that I came in and learnt all of his songs and sung his. It wasn't essentially an originals band. It was, but like from this point onwards, it was like, okay, what is Batucada? And I think it kind of was just a natural end to the band. It was like, it's not. Everyone's got their own thing, and it's not really working. So it just kind of naturally fizzled out. And there was talk of doing a European tour and talk of doing an album, but nothing kind of happened. And then when I was on Good Morning, that's where Brad saw me, and at that stage,
that was my next question. Yeah.
Yeah. So I still had my covers band together because I'd come home and kind of rebooted that up just to make some money, and was doing the Batucada thing, and then got a phone call from him, and it was all on after that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what am I going to do?
Yep. So how did that conversation go down with you and Brad?
Yeah, it was a text.
Yep.
On,
Well, he just texted you.
Yeah,
Like, do you want to be in a band, bro?
Yeah, pretty much. It was because I saw you on Good Morning Show. Like your voice. I've got the song that I think would suit your voice, and yeah, it was what year was it? It was 2015. That was 2015. So
Too far along. Way you go.
I just cut open my hand on a glass jar. I hadn't played guitar for 3 months, so that was interesting too. So I was sitting there kind of like a little bit depressed, going, "Oh my god, I'm never going to play the guitar again."
Did you know Brad, bro, before the text?
No, I mean I knew who he was, of course, but I didn't know him personally. No.
Oh, so in the music scene in New Zealand, you'd never ever cross paths. Oh
No.
wow. Okay, cool.
No.
He just texts you out
I've
of the
seen
blue.
Cora maybe 4 or 5 times, but never met any of the Coras. I've met some of the Catch a Fire boys, but never met the Coras.
Awesome band, Cora.
So yeah, it was pretty. I was sitting there at the Polytech teaching a group of kids how to play some chords, and get this message. I was still on ACC and everything was cracker. And I went outside and I pretty much fist pumped the air and I was like, holy shit! I just got a message from Brad Cora, epic. And I replied to him, and then within a week I had the song sent back to him with lyrics, and that's Old Man. That's on the first album. So yeah, it was actually one of my first attempts, like proper attempts at writing lyrics as well, because I've always kind of like not dabbled in songwriting on that level, like, in the sense of writing lyrics. So that was quite a cool challenge.
Right.
Sorry, bro. What was the first song that you wrote? Old Man.
Old Man.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
It's just become my new favorite.
Yeah.
Now, was it when he texted you and he said he had that song? Was it kind of an audition? Like, hey, bro, here's the song. Write some words to it and then send it back, and then we'll see what you got. Or
little do I know. I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
Because then he said, "Come to Whakatane and have a jam with me and my brother." So it was me, him, and Stu in his gym, and we just jammed for like 4 or 5 hours, and then I went and packed my stuff in the car to go home, and he said, "Do you want to join the band?" And that's literally how it happened.
Wow.
The first gig was like September. We played down in Oakuni at a winter festival, like a winter gig. Well, end of winter, when it's September. So yeah, it was like a random one, that one, and that was the first gig. It was with KP, who does like KP does the Sunshine Sound System stuff, and they kind of do quite a few gigs with Cora. So he was in amongst it. Tate, which is Brad and Stu's Old Man. So this was real early days. Like, we had the only originals that were L.A.B's were maybe 2 songs in the set. The others were kind of like electronic dance tracks, and chucking, like, we even played a Cora track quite early on in the piece.
Which one?
Politician.
Oh yeah, of course.
We played Politician, and I was like, I can't believe I'm playing Politician with like Cora, but not Cora. It's like it's like the transition between you're nearly an originals band, but you're not quite. And this fella came up to me at the Kapiti gig, we did a gig at Kapiti, and he's like, "Bro, you sound just like the album." And I was like, "Thanks, my bro."
Shot, cuz.
Oh man, it was funny.
Yeah. All right. So the wheels are starting to roll there with L.A.B. So, did the boys have a plan at that stage?
Yeah, I guess like that summer, the summer of 2015, 2016, was like a real rip, shit, and bust kind of. Okay, it's a thing now. We've found, like, Brad, it got me in there, and then we got we had a bass player that summer that was Richie to start with, It was Stu on bass to start with,
Yeah.
and then it was Richie for a few shows, and then we got this guy Shannon to come in. And yeah, we were playing Soundsplash, which is in Raglan, in front of. We played just before Sticky Fingers, and they're huge now, but they were huge back then as well. And everyone was just looking at us like, "Who are these guys?"
Mm.
And that we just we got thrown straight into the deep end. Well, I essentially threw ourselves straight into the deep end. And then we started writing heaps, and that was kind of 2016, 2017.
Yep.
You know, I was going to Whakatane like twice a week in those early days. Not even that long ago, really, but feels like ages ago now. But yeah, go for a whole day to Whakatane, go and do a sesh with Brad in the morning at the gym. Not jiu-jitsu, because I can't do that. And then we'll get a coffee and then go to his house and we'll just jam and write and hang out. And yeah, that's where like collaborating. Because it's like I said, I wasn't writing songs back then as much as I am now and have kind of learnt. So we were just, he was bouncing ideas to me and I'd try out some ideas with him, and that's how some of those songs were born. And yeah, it was just an awesome time there.
Yeah.
Just on that, bro. So when you're making a song, L.A.B, the musicians in L.A.B, Ara, Stu, and Brad, is there any conflict when you bring new ideas to the table, or the boys are just give it a shot and then we'll see how it goes?
Yeah, I mean, like the thing that is with L.A.B is like Brad is the producer and he's essentially the creative director as well. So when it comes to an idea, it's not that it doesn't get used, but yeah, you put the idea onto the table, and if it's a good enough idea, it'll get used. It's kind of like that, and it's really hard as a musician to not have that ego and not be like, well, no, this is my song and I want it this way. So we kind of made it at the start that, it's all equal. We're all in this together. Don't be offended if I say that's a shit verse or, and you just kind of had to get used to that way of writing, not being too precious.
We just never learnt that, did we, bro? Because Josh and I play in the band together.
Oh, me?
Yeah. Well, we haven't done anything for a while, eh?
No, I left the band, but yeah, I went solo. They never went far. I actually asked L.A.B if they needed a singer, and then they found Joel. So I never got a. Because
you got sent a song, to write some words to, and I think Joel got his back first.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what I like to think happened.
But yeah, no, we used to. Yeah, we used to struggle with that, eh?
Yeah, and I think a lot of bands do, and I think if you've overcome that, I think that's a really big thing, man. Oh wow, that's exciting, because that means for me you're going to be around for a long time.
Yeah,
that excites me a little bit.
And I suppose thinking about it too, I guess, there's the hindsight of Cora and Catchafire, isn't there? All the things that may have possibly have gone wrong in those particular bands. You guys are kind of bringing it together and go, well, we tried that in this, in this setting and it didn't work. Let's try it this way. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting back and learning, man. It's like I'm not coming in as a person like like Brad and Stu and Ada, who have a wealth of experience and knowledge and have toured the world with their music, which is something I've not yet done, as a musician. So it's just a massive wave for me, just learning, how it all works, the dynamic of a band on this level. And you're totally right. They're looking at it as a second one, going, well, we're not going to do this time, and we're going to learn from that mistake, or no, that works, so let's try it. So of course, there's no reason for me to be like, oh no, well, when I played at the pub in Tauranga, we did it like this, because no, that's not how it works.
Oh man, that's awesome. So
Do you have a favorite L.A.B song? I've had people been asking me to ask you questions. Do you yourself? Obviously, musicians you'll listen to a song a million times, and it kind of gets repetitive after a while. But do you have a personal favorite?
Yeah, man, probably the Watchman would be up there. Right. The Watchman. She's Gone. There's something special about She's Gone because of how it was written, like how it happened in the studio as well. It was one of those tunes that it was a magic moment in the studio. You know, it just happened and it came out. One of those creative moments that you was captured.
Well, explain that a little bit then. So what were you doing at the time when it just sort of happened?
Yeah.
Well, when we used to play it live before we recorded it, it was just this. Brad and Stu would just play like a G minor on the synth, and just big loud kind of thing, and then I'd just doodle a bunch of stuff on the guitar over the top. Kind of came up with a bit of a form, and that was what we did live for ages, but we'd never recorded it. It was an old song that Brad had written like a long time ago that he changed the feel of. It was a whole different feel, and then it became what it became on the album, which is that kind of heavy reggae dub feel. But yeah, it kind of morphed itself live, and then when we went to the studio to record it, we came up with it, but more of a chord progression, and Brad and Stu laid down the synths, and then while they were doing that, I was kind of jamming along to it. And then once they were recorded, I went in and did the guitar solo over the top. We did 3 takes, and I think we picked like the second one. It was one of those kind of in the moment things.
Yeah, it's kind of like you guys. It's like you guys are doing it like they used to do it in the old days, eh? Like you're getting into spit, and it sounds like you're doing it this time around too. You're going down to the studio. You don't have much of an idea of what you're going to do, and you get there and you just start cooking.
Eh? Yeah, you just get creative.
Yeah, and I think that people, so many people have just lost that. I think it's all about, this is my part, send it.
Yep.
Send them that part, mix it all together, and it's just not, I don't know, what's the word?
We did a lot of pre-production on the first album, and pretty much half of the second album was a lot of the work was done either here in Tauranga or at the gym. We did lots of pre-production, and then because the ball's kind of rolling so fast, we don't even have time to get together and write songs. So we go to the studio, and that's where it happens. But a lot of that happened. We kind of had to show ourselves that we could do that before we made that risk of like just jumping in a room together. So I think we kind of got the confidence now that, yep, we can go down there with a little idea and turn it into something big. Because we've done it with songs like I Don't Want to Know and Umalash and stuff that we've done this.
Bro, what does Umalash mean?
It means nothing.
Right, it's a nothing. It's just the word.
It's the character of the song.
Right.
We decided that, well, it sounds so kind of good. Like, when we're singing it, we can't think of a word to go there.
Yeah.
And the whole song's kind of about, when we were writing it, about Steve Jobs, was the kind of concept of like, money isn't, there's that, I don't even know if it was true, and I don't know if you ever saw that photo of Steve Jobs, and it was like, money's not what you need.
Yeah, just before he died, getting help out of the car. Yeah,
I don't know if that was.
Yep.
Yeah, so we kind of took that concept on, and writing about someone that lives for that and realizes that that's not what it is. So Umalash is just the character of the song.
Right. My 8-year-old daughter's a huge fan. Just like I am, and I told her it's the Māori word for awesome. So we just went with that. She doesn't know any different. So.
Sure, bro.
Umalash.
Yeah, that's wicked.
Umalash, bro.
Umalash.
Awesome.
Now, my favourite song is Fashion Dread.
Man.
Hang on, I've got it dialed up. Hang on a sec. I've got all my flash gears. Watch this.
When you feel
When I heard just that part there, I just went, what the fuck is this? No, seriously, seriously, it was one of those moments. Fuck, you know?
Yeah.
What the fuck is it? And I turned it up and just, I thrashed it probably 50 times that day. But awesome. Wicked. Well done.
Bro,
well done.
So good. My son was like, Dad, it sounds like Peter Frampton. I was like, whoa, how do you even know that?
Yeah.
Because of me, obviously. But bro, I was the same. I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god, I got tingles now.
Yeah. So how did that one come about? Because that sounds like it had been cooking for a while.
Yeah. We've been playing. That was one of the L.A.B's first, like as the band L.A.B kind of formed. That was one of the first tracks that Brad wrote, and it was like he had the Fashion Dread idea. He'd recorded it ages ago, like before I was. Like it was like when him and Lawson were jamming.
Right.
That's cool.
And I think it was kind of written. He wrote it at his place, and then took that chorus idea, and we used to jam it to a track for a while, and then we ended up when we were touring in Australia with Catch a Fire, we kind of came up with more of a live arrangement. I wrote some lyrics for the verses, and it kind of became. It just morphed over time. It was meant to be on the first album. And it was actually what Love Will Save Me became. If you listen to Love Will Save Me, the groove on Love Will Save Me,
right,
and the groove of Fashion Dread, it's the same pocket.
Right.
We had the intention of recording Fashion, and then ended up writing Love Will Save Me. So we kind of, if that makes sense. So we were like, it's definitely got to go on the second album.
Yeah.
Because we've been playing it live. It's the song we've been playing live for ages.
Right. And who sings the main line in the chorus?
That's Brad.
Oh, it's Brad. That. Okay, right. Right.
Yeah.
I've been trying to work that out. Yeah. Okay, awesome, man. So that's killer. Now,
he can sing like James Brown is out of it.
Yeah. That's cool. Before we talk a little bit more about L.A.B, your guitar, the green guitar, the turquoise guitar, whatever color it is. That's starting to come fairly iconic, I think, with you, almost part of your signature, I guess. Now, that's what I see anyway. So when I see that guitar, I go, just like your voice, you know. I mean, if I see another one of those, I'll go, Joel's got one of them. Joel Shadbolt's got one of those. Yeah. So how did that guitar? Where'd you get that guitar from?
So I've had that since I was 12. My old man, bought that for me when I was. The first ever electric guitar I had was bought in Whangamata at the Mum's Corner. Do you know where the Mum's Corner dairy is, Whangamata?
No, I don't know.
And you kind of drive in and there's this little second-hand store. So I kind of grew out of that guitar, and then that green one was the first ever real electric guitar I'd had. And I've kind of played it ever since.
Yeah.
Had frets redone on it, and pickups changed like fucking hot dinners, but it's just one of those ones that you always go back to.
We'll always be there. Yeah. That's cool. Did you want to say something?
No, I was still blown away by the Fashion Dread.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Still there.
Yeah. So who are your vocal influences? We know you have guitar influences.
You'll crack up with this, bro. When we put up that video of Fashion Dread, when we did those RNZ videos, I don't know if you saw those.
Yeah.
The live ones and stuff. The bass player Peter Frampton commented on that.
Oh, did he?
Oh, what did he say, bro? Oh, that's pretty mean.
He goes, bro, he said something like, man, that sounds fat, and that was it.
Oh, I thought he was going to go, I'm going to tell Peter, and you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. I was like,
for
bro,
using my vocoder.
Man, tell him. I said, you tell Peter and tell him he's a fucking man.
Yeah. We are L.A.B. My name's Joel, and you tell him.
Yeah.
Huge.
Joel to Peter.
Man, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Sorry, vocal influences. Bill Withers, Donny Hathaway, Michael McDonald.
Oh man, it's top shelf.
Those are kind of who I can think of off the top. Joe Cocker, Paul Carrick. I don't know if you know who Paul Carrick is.
No.
He's the guy that sings. Oh, he sings that. Mike and the Mechanics. That song. That real deep, heavy song with the choir.
Living Years.
Living Years.
Living Years. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
He's that guy. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Like, definitely Joe Cocker. I love like the early Joe Cocker stuff. I mean, I sound nothing like him, but just the kind of how he approached singing. And love the sound of those 70s records, you know.
Oh, so in saying that, you guys obviously recording the digital, aren't you? It's not to tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put some things on tape, so we record. Like, sometimes we record the drums to tape, or
cool.
Put like
makes them a bit
fatter.
Like yep.
Yeah. So we definitely use some of that stuff in the studio. But yeah, it's all recorded on Pro Tools.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, that's cool. Now the Marley show and the Reggae All Stars, you're quite involved in that these days too, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a bit of fun.
How do you find time for all that? Because you got all the L.A.B stuff going on, and
it's kind of one of those gigs that's just like a party. Like you get to play Bob Marley's music. I mean, it's kind of a laugh, really, that that it can happen. It's just an amazing time jamming with incredible musos playing some of the best reggae that's ever been written. You know, it's like it's such powerful music, and certainly opened my eyes to the depth of reggae. You know, like I grew up listening to not as much reggae as I listened to, like probably when I was listening to Iron Maiden and all that, and when the Cora album came out. The actual Cora album, I was just started at uni, and that had a huge impact on everybody, I think. But if you weren't a muso and you didn't know who Cora were, in New Zealand, you were probably hiding under a rock. But the sound of the whole reggae thing kind of, I didn't realize how influenced I was until I started playing in that Bob Marley thing and started to kind of dig deep into how that music works. You know, the depth of like the orchestration of Bob Marley's music. It's incredible, man. It's like, you're listening to like 3 guitars, 2 clavs, a drummer, 2 percussion players, 3 BVs, 3 horns, and none of it's getting in the way of each other.
Yeah, it's all parts,
Bro, never like understood how epic it was. It was just one of those, holy shit, man, there's so much depth to this music. It's like fucking crazy.
Yeah. So do you feel that you need to give it that respect then, or do you kind of is that probably lack of a better term? Are you trying to play it the same as they played it, basically? Yeah,
definitely.
Okay, gotcha. All right, gotcha.
Definitely. Like what that's like we do, like when we did Turn Your Lights Down Low, that was probably one of the only songs that wasn't, and that was one that I was singing, but it was like probably one of the only ones that was not to the original kind of thing. But like I went over to Grenville, who lives in Hamilton. I went over to his house and we sat there and kind of figured out the guitar parts, and I just saw all the other songs and going like, man, there's a guitar doing the skank, there's a guitar following the bass, and there's a guitar doing lead, all in, there's 3 guitars. It's just like crazy, like how much, and then you've got the clav and the organ and the horns. Yeah, it's just like he was, whoever produced it, whether it was Bob Marley or, and I'm not entirely sure, but there's some epic arrangement going on there, some serious depth that I was totally uneducated on at the time, and very much educated on now.
Yeah, man, that's cool. That's mean.
Because reggae gets a flack, man. Reggae gets kind of barbecue reggae, and there's reggae this, and it's But man, if you listen to that shit, you go, okay, then try play that. Like
it's a new appreciation
to the haters.
Yeah,
all you haters out there.
Yeah.
there's just so much depth to it. Eh? It's like listening to Stevie Wonder's music. It's like listening to anything of that caliber. It's not that I didn't respect it. I just didn't know, didn't realize. Definitely always respected his music, but just didn't understand the depth of it.
Right.
Deep, bro. Shit,
It's
sorry.
deep. No, it's all good.
It's real deep.
What do you do away from music? Do you have time to do anything away from music?
Yeah, I try and function just as a normal human. Go to the gym, eat, sleep, and bit of teaching.
Yep.
Yeah. I teach probably 10 to 15 different students. Like it depends on what L.A.B's up to, and it kind of works all around. That's the main priority. Has been for a long time, but yeah, I definitely still teach, and I love that kind of whole part of my life that I don't think I'll ever give up.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, just always learning, always not just being a teacher, but also being a student. But when I teach, I kind of get that. That's right. That's what it feels like to learn something new, and keeps me hungry. Kind of. Yeah.
So, like, we just talked about being hungry, eating food. Probably the best things I'm good at. Do you like to cook, Mick?
I do like to cook.
Do you have a favourite dish that you like to prepare?
Probably Mexican, doing the old nachos.
Sí.
Yeah.
Sí, señor.
Yeah.
That's why you want to learn Spanish, eh? You talk to the fellow that the tacos. Yeah,
I got the old El Paso. We used to, when I was a kid, used to have like burrito night. It was always the packet and shit.
Yeah. And
I was like, one day I kind of went, right, when you're on that health buzz day, once a year, and you're like, I'm going to lose heaps of weight. So you're like, go and get all the ingredients yourself, and you're like, I'll get my own, I'll read the back of the packet and see if I can recreate this magic that comes out of it. Yeah. And eventually I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually
Nice.
So I've created, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but yeah. I got that shit down.
Hey, sorry.
Hey, you can come over for Mexican anytime you want.
Yeah. Hey.
Sweet. So being a bit of an avid cook, then. So when you fellas are in the studio, are you the cook, or does everybody cook?
Yeah. I'm probably the cook more than I am anything else. No. It's yeah. We pretty much eat 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock because the boys are into the old fasting, or Brad is anyway. So me and Stu might sneak in a few pieces of toast before 12, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure Stewie is.
Yeah. And then we just cook up a big lunch and a big dinner.
Yeah.
Used to get old Nan to bake something or make soup here and there,
Yeah, I mean, now
all good.
earlier today I put a bit of a post out asking if anybody had any questions for you.
Yeah, I got heaps.
You did get heaps.
Yeah, I got heaps, but do yours first.
Yeah. I got a few, and most of them are my mates. One of them's from a brother. Because my posts don't go very far. So anyway, I try these things. So my bro Damon has asked, and you may have been asked this before. Are you any relation to Tim Shadbolt?
I am.
You are
related to Tim, and I've never met him. So he's my dad. On my dad's side, he's like a second cousin.
Second cousin to your dad. Yep.
That's close.
So it's third to me, I guess.
Yeah, well,
never met him.
actually, the second, third cousin thing. Ross Taylor, New Zealand cricket player. Ross. Yeah. So my grandfather. Hang on. My grandfather, his cousin, is Ross's grandfather.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So same sort of
nice.
third, fourth in there anyway. But he's the cousin of Ross.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ross.
Wow, the cousin. Yeah, we got Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat. Well, his grandfather.
Yeah.
So he's a cousin.
Yeah. So my bro Rafferty Turnbull, he's asked when you fellas come to Sydney, how his band Tamana can be your support band.
Sweet.
Yep.
Oh, they're dope.
Tell
Yeah,
him,
good band.
Tell him to message the page and put in a link with the stuff, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome band. They're an awesome band, man.
My brother says, does Joel have any drumsticks?
Drumsticks.
Yeah. Random as, but he asked it, so I got to ask it.
Well, I learned how to play drums when I was at primary school and have played drums in bands before.
Yep.
But I don't currently have any drumsticks on me, no.
Okay.
I love to play so I got told off for playing the drums on the table at my science end of year school report and my maths in the same year. Both of them said he's good in class when he's not banging on the table.
Was that written in the report?
Written in the report.
Yeah. And my brother's last question was, did Joel have a younger brother growing up who tried learning a musical instrument but was put to shame by his naturally gifted sibling?
Oh, wow.
He'll never live that down, eh? Because the story there was like I was playing piano at the time, and do you remember Gary Brain in New Zealand? He was the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra drummer percussionist back in would have been the 80s, I'd say. Anyway, Gary Brain went to my brother's school and did a performance, and then my brother came home and said, "Oh, I want to learn drums, Dad." So Dad got a drum kit, and Dad's mate used to come over and teach Greg, and I used to sit in the back and sort of watch, and then he'd go inside, and so then I'd jump on and play, and then I got better than him, and so he got the shits. And same thing happened with the bass. Like he got a bass too, and then I started jamming on the bass, and the same thing happened. So yeah, but it's all good. Love you, brother.
But I don't even. I'm an only child. I'm a sole trader, so
okay.
I was just competing with myself.
Okay.
Well, and everyone else who was trying to get good, I guess.
Yep.
And there's still. Yeah.
Right.
I'll sift through there's some really stupid ones. I won't ask those. I've got one from Benji. It's a girl. Do you have a girlfriend?
Yes, I do.
Sorry, Benji. So that's just a quick, clean answer. That's done. I've got another one here from Jace. Bro, if you weren't going to be a musician, what were you going to be when you were growing up?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably a personal assistant. No, I don't know. A chef, I guess now. Like, if it all turns to shit, I'd probably be a chef or a school teacher.
Cool.
Maybe. I don't know any different, man. It's
maybe you'll teach cooking at school.
There you go. Like I could write a cookbook that matches like music and food. Yeah,
and create this new curriculum for New Zealand schools. Yeah.
Wow. White people are clever. Otafai over in Perth wanted me to ask, are you coming to Perth? I'm guessing she means the whole of L.A.B, not just you. So the band.
Yeah. I think we are. It's all in the pipelines at the moment. We're just trying to.
All right, cool. So
A.B. Yeah, so it's definitely highly likely. Yes.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Oh, and you fellas can stay at our places too when you're here in Sydney. So putting it out there.
Cool.
Carissa asked the same question. She's from Adelaide. Will you be coming to Adelaide? Yeah, yes, that's in the pipeline as well. The other ones I'm not going to ask because they're just stupid. I feel rude asking them. Actually.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, okay, bro. I want to. You put a bit of a touching post up the other day, and I think it was the day after the Christchurch.
Oh yeah.
You fellas were playing on on the marae there, and you said it was the toughest gig.
Turanga
you've
Waiwai.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that? Where were you when you found out what was sort of going on? I know it definitely affected us personally. Like being here in Sydney, but not actually being back there. If you can.
Yeah, it was just one of those moments, man. And like, I remember being a kid, and there's like, I'm still in my family house like right now, and in this lounge, I remember moments in time where like shit's gone down. When the Twin Towers happened, I was super young, but I remember that day.
Yep.
I remember, for some reason, I remember the day that Lady Di also passed away because of who was at the house, and that day, man, like I'd never seen like I was watching, and I pretty much could not take my eyes off that TV for like 4 hours, and I should have. In hindsight, I should have just removed myself from it, but it was just like, it was just intense. It was just like, what is going on? And then, I just didn't even want to get out of bed the next day, and we had to go and do the show, and it was like, it was just yuck, just like
yuck, yeah.
I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's like you just feel less of a human for like what the human race just did to itself, kind of thing.
Yep.
Like, no words. So just playing music, because that's a healing thing for me, and I hope that heals other people. So that was kind of what I was getting at, I guess, in that post. And it was just hard because you felt emotional playing. Like, we were playing Ain't No Use, and I was just like, the lyrics in that song kind of like touch on what was not what was happening, but there ain't no use when the world that you love's gone away. The beauty of it all's in the sky. Let me take your hand and get away from the shit, and got to make a change. And I was singing that, and I was just losing it, man. I was just so hard to, it was just such a powerful thing, that not powerful in a good way.
I know what you're saying.
It was such, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just, it was intense. So I emotionally react to a lot of things, but that was one of the things. Was like, fuck, I better say something about that. But yeah, I guess it just gave, like, playing music is all we can do, man, and not be a part of that hate.
Yep.
And
yeah. I'm gonna try and start a petition to try and get Jacinda Ardern to become dual Prime Minister of New Zealand and Australia, because we need her over here. So I'm working on that. Oh man, what a leader! What a leader!
Yeah, man.
Just
we
fucking
saw her
unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable.
We saw her in the Cordy Lounge, because you know how Brad's like,
we're in the Cordy Lounge now.
I was just tell the whole world. And so we walk in there, and there's the Prime Minister with her baby and her partner. And, like, this is like pretty fresh, man. Like, maybe it was the weekend after. It was the homegrown weekend. I can't remember. But yeah, it was really fresh after the fact. And she was just being a mum and doing, normal. People were coming up to her saying hi and thank you. And it was just, she was just in her normal state. She wasn't in Prime Minister mode, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Still taking the time to just be the most epic human, eh? It's just like,
that's what I was going to say. Special human, I was going to say then. Yeah, fuck. Heavy, man. Heavy,
bro. Heavy, yeah.
All right, bro. So what's so we know the album's cooking. Have you got an idea of a potential release date? Same sort of plan as last year, or?
Yeah, probably earlier this year, because we've started earlier and we're finishing earlier.
Okay.
So we aim to have most of the album finished by August. Kind of last week in September, like not the last week, but we'll be doing our last week of recording kind of early September, which could, if it's all done by then, it could be the mastering week. So yeah, I think we're aiming for October, November the latest, but October this year.
Yep.
Trip out a couple of singles and then drop the album, kind of buzz.
Yeah, cool. Now, in the like, yeah. So the Australia tour thing, that'll be. Will you be touring to L.A.B. too, and the first one, or are you waiting for the? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. We'll be doing. I think we're looking at 4 shows at the moment.
Yep.
Potentially 3, hopefully 4 if it works out.
Yep.
Yeah, rad.
Yeah.
One of them definitely.
Will have to be 5 because I've just built a new deck veranda out the back of my house. It's massive. So yeah, and I haven't had a band there yet. I haven't set my gears up there. You guys don't have to bring gear. I've got all the gear here. Yeah, so we'll have a jam. Have jam at my house.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
All you need.
Yeah.
A couple of acoustic guitars.
Yeah, got that.
And a couple of chorus, bro, and that'll set you till 4 a.m.
Well, I got a Strat. You can see my Strat there. There's my Strat, and I got my jazz bass there. I've got my drum kit stacked there. I've got there's a ukulele there. Oh yeah, no, we're set. Yep, no, awesome. You got anything you want to say, Josh?
Man, I'm just been so happy to sit here. Thank you so much for bringing me.
Oh, sweet, bro. No.
Oh, bro, this is probably the best thing I've done all year. One of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joel, bro, it's been a. Yeah, sorry, go.
Yeah. Josh, have you had that steak you said you got to eat?
Bro, the pub down by my house, the heaps of vegans were like, oh, don't eat meat. And, you know, there's a bit of a protest going on. So I was like, oh, yeah, I kind of feel sorry for the cows now. So probably just going to eat chicken. Then I started eating kinners and I got gout on the weekend. So I'm not going to eat kinners anymore. So
I don't know if you saw the videos, like he's posted he's got gout. And then the next picture was you down buying some kinners.
Yeah, buying some kinners, yeah.
What a dickhead.
Yeah, I know.
Did you actually,
What's that, bro?
Did you actually have gout?
Yeah, I actually had gout. Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually had gout.
I had gout in 2016, and I don't know why I'm laughing because it was fucking painful.
It's painful.
But I went to the doctor and I was like, "Hey man, there's something. I'm pretty sure I've got gout." And he looked at me sideways, man. He's like, "How old are you?" And I was like, 26, 27. You think you got? And he looked at my toe and he touched it, and then he fucking went through the roof. And, oh, yep, you got gout. So went home and just did the whole like foot out of the bed, like your video, because you can't even have a blanket on that shit.
No sheet, nothing, man. Even the atmosphere of the air can create some
even
pain.
your breath.
Yeah. I blame it on all the salads that I've been eating lately.
Oh,
so no more lettuce.
The seafood salads, bro. Yeah.
Bro, that's so funny. And then people have been like, "Bro, you're just hanging out with those chorus too much."
Oh well.
Joel Shadbolt, bro, thanks so much for spending your time tonight talking to us. Yeah, you're a legend, man. We can't wait to see you fellas here in Sydney. Yeah,
man, totally can't wait. Sydney can't wait. Adelaide can't wait. Perth can't wait. Melbourne can't wait. Gold Coast is hanging in there as well. So we're gonna all the places I've named. We're gonna go around those areas.
And my neighbours can't wait.
Oh man, it's exciting. The last time we toured Australia, we didn't even have an album, so it was fun too. That tour was epic, so I'm just looking forward to.
Yeah, we come to watch you at the Rudy Hill RSL. You're opening for Catch a Fire, but we thought, being a Māori band, they'll be late, so we'll just get there late, and they're on time, and we got there and had finished. I was like, oh no! So I grabbed the beer and left because I've seen Catch a Fire like 100 times. So I was like, I only came to see L.A.B. Not throwing shade on Catch a Fire, but I'd already seen them 100 times. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, really excited to see you, bro. I really can't wait. I'm so excited.
Man, make sure you don't have gout that weekend.
Even if I do, brother.
With the wheel them in. Yeah. Wicked.
Cool.
All right, Joel, bro. Thanks so much, bro. Yeah, look
thanks
after
so
yourself,
much.
and yeah, all the best with recording of your album and yeah, everything else. Can't wait to catch you fellas.
Can't wait, bro.
Yep.
Me.
All right, bro.
Sure, bro.
No, thanks for having me.
Yeah, sweet as. Catch you,
Awesome.
Joel.
Moody order, bro. Bless up.
Later, bro. See you guys.
Yeah.
When you feel like I do, I said, hey, don't lie. Wow, let go.
All alone when you're feeling far away, when the winter days never seem to change, just when you feel like you got nowhere to go, gotta let this storm bring you peace of mind, singing.
Ain't nobody gotta know no more. Ain't nobody gotta know no more. Ain't nobody gotta know no more. Ain't nobody gotta know no more.
Out of control with the burning heat. Ooh, illumination gets you through the dark. Just when you feel like you got nowhere to go, you gotta let this storm bring you peace of mind, singing.
Ain't nobody gotta know no more. 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 Locked up the trunk with the